So's. My name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. Um, Happy Friday. I hope everyone's had a good week. It has been busy here, and this will be a longish video considering I haven't actually sewn anything this week. I had some really sweet messages on my last video when I was talking about struggling to find the time to vlog. I wanted to clarify, I love the vlogging, I love the sewing, it's just work and lots of other things are sort of taking up more time at the moment. So yeah, it's been a bit crazy. So I thought I'd do a bit of a life update and then get on to the other things I was going to share with you. So yeah, if you're not interested in a life update, which is totally cool, I'll try and put a chapter in so you can skip to the sewing stuff. So as most of you know, I am a self-employed musician. I'm an opera singer, and I'm a singing teacher, and I run choirs, and I run a musical theatre. I'm the head of music at a musical theatre school, and just lots of musician jobs around the place. And I think I've said before, I find it really difficult to say no to things. I think with the self-employed thing, it's like you just don't know if work's going to dry up at some point. So I always find that I want to make hay while the sun shines. So if someone comes to me and I technically have the time, I tend to say yes. So the latest thing I've been approached about is running a toddler group, like a toddler music class, which I'm definitely interested to try, but I have never done it before. So it's quite a lot of work getting set up. Obviously pacing for really young children. They can't tell me how young they're going to be. So it could be 2-year-olds, it could be like babies. And I'm finding it quite difficult to work out what to do without knowing the age, because obviously there's a big difference in what they're capable of doing between those ages. So the first one is this Wednesday coming. I've got lots of different ideas, but I've not put them together into a formal plan yet. So that is stressing me out quite a bit. Other work stuff is really busy, which again is great, but it is just really time consuming at the moment. We're also, you might hear some banging, they're doing building work next door, and we're also going to have a load of work done on our house, which is nice, but it means we'll temporarily be moving out. So we're just waiting for the planning stuff to all come through, but then we will be emptying the house out, which is obviously going to take time, moving in with my parents in Kingston, which is really lovely. They have a space where I can sew and everything, so that's going to be great. And yeah, and then obviously we're getting married. Wedding stuff is really picking up now. There's been lots going on. We've had a couple of tricky situations with RSVPs. I don't know, maybe you can tell me what you think about this, but we're having some children at our wedding, but not all. And the way we've limited it is by anyone who's in the wedding party can bring their children. Some of their children are in the wedding party as well. And otherwise we're saying no kids. We're then having a creche in the evening so that the children from the wedding party are in the creche rather than being in the party. And the reason we've done that is because we would have had probably over 40 children there if we'd said everyone could bring their kids, and it's just not what we want, but it's also not practical, and it just changes the vibe. So we were quite clear about that on the website, but we've had some RSVPs where people have said we're bringing our kids, and we're talking multiple kids, and they haven't sort of asked and then everything, and so we've had to sort of say, I think because if you're not going to have all children there, I think you have to have quite clear boundaries, and so it would have been easier to just sort of say, yeah, okay, you can come, but actually that would then cause more problems down the line. So we've had some tricky things with that this week, but I think we're sort of getting there. I think we're getting there. I feel like there's something else that's been going on. I don't know. There's just lots of stuff going on. But it's fine. It's just very, very busy at the moment. But I don't want you thinking that I find the vlog a stress. I don't. I love vlogging. It's just, it has to be slightly pushed down the priority list when other things are going on. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at. I also have had some thoughts re the wedding actually about what I'm going to sew. So I've really gone back and forth. I think there's a lot of pressure on sort of crafty people when you're getting married to make everything. And I have gone from one end to the other on what I'm going to make. But I think I'm settled now that I'm going to make the flower girl dresses. I have 4 flower girls, one of whom is a little bit older. So she's 10 and the other 3 are very small. And I'm going to make a sort of very relaxed party dress that's going to be very sparkly, but I don't want to have pressure to change if I don't want to change on the day. But I equally think there may come a point in the evening where I want something a bit more relaxed than the dress that I'm wearing. So I want to make something that's just simple but really sparkly. So those are the only things I'm going to be sewing. So 4 flower girl dresses and a party dress for myself. It is not going to be anything really elaborate. As I said, I don't feel like I need the added stress of doing things that are really complicated. So yeah, but I'll do another vlog about those. But that's where we're at on all of that stuff. So I know I said I haven't been sewing. I have so much fabric to show you. Nate bought some back from Trinidad. I've had some deliveries. Obviously, when he was away, I ran a bit crazy and ordered absolutely loads. Sorry, you can probably hear that drilling next door. Hopefully that's not going to go on the whole time. Yeah, so I'm going to get that ready and then I will show you some of the things I've got. Okay, so I'm going to start off with what Nathan bought me from Trinidad. So if you didn't see my last video, he was back there visiting some family. He had an amazing time. We're hoping to go maybe next year, hopefully. And he very sweetly searched out a fabric shop and he bought me a load of fabric. I didn't ask him to get me fabric, so yeah, it was really sweet. I was telling him, I was like, you're very popular in my comments this week. And I think it's really interesting as well, because obviously when someone else buys you something, it's like you sort of get a bit of their taste and stuff like that. So and what they like and what they might like you in. So he very much went bold. Okay, he went for bright colours, bold prints. He bought one piece of fabric that he wants me to make him something in, which is fine. So I made him a shirt to go out there in, which I'm going to share for Selfless Sew April. And we've got some really good pictures that they took out there. And so I think I'll make him something else like that. Now, the thing that's interesting is obviously he doesn't really know fabric. So he went primarily on print and colour. Everything's 100% cotton, but yeah, it was quite a mix of things that he's purchased. So, and a couple of them I'm not really sure 100% what I'm going to do with, but maybe you will have some ideas. So the first one he bought is just a really nice, I think it's like a poplin maybe. This one I've pre-washed. He says he picked it because he liked the colour. Also, what I will say is a lot of these fabrics have influence from sort of Indian culture, and that is because in Trinidad there's a large Indian population. So in the food and in a lot of other things you get out there, there's like a heavy Indian influence as opposed to maybe certain other parts of the Caribbean. So it's got like a very unique, like Trinidadian culture is like very much its own thing, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the first one. So this is a cotton in a lovely yellow. Now I'm thinking, you can see on here, it's got sort of, there's like a bit of almost paisley in these little patterns here. And then you've got like little stars and little flowers and sort of all sorts of other things going on. So I love the colour, it's so bright. He bought, I think it's 4 yards. He said he bought 4 yards of everything. Apart from, I think the one he bought from himself, he bought 3 yards. So I'm thinking what might be kind of cute in this is either like a summery jumpsuit that I might wear on holiday on a beach, or a co-ord set. So I was thinking maybe the saguaro set from Friday Pattern Company, which I haven't made yet. I was thinking that could be kind of cute. Or maybe like the skirt from the Paper Cut Patterns of Stella, which is just a simple rectangle skirt with a frill. And then like a coordinating top. So I'm thinking this is very much summer vibes for me. And I think possibly holiday vibes. It gives me holiday vibes. Maybe when we go back to Trinidad next year. But I really love that. So that's been pre-washed. And I'm going to be thinking about what I want to make with that. But yeah, he knows I like colour. Do you know what I mean? So he's really picked things that are very colourful. The fabric he bought for me to make a shirt. Now this I think is a poplin as well. I haven't washed this yet. So this is the one to make him a shirt. So this is, again, a paisley print. So you can just have a look at that. And it's got sort of, is it black background, and then it's got sort of oranges and pinks and purples in the pattern, which is really nice, and it feels very like a good structure, so I think it'll be easy to work with. So I'll pop that in the wash, and then I'll be making him a shirt. Now, these are two fabrics that I don't really know what to do with. I've pre-washed one. I love the prints on both. They're both very bold. It's just that I'm not 100% sure what the fabric type is. So let me describe it to you, and then I'll show you the prints. So again, it's 100% cotton. Now, one of these, he said that the woman he purchased it from said, when you wash it, it will soften up. And it has softened up a bit, but she was like, oh, my daughter made a sari out of it. And I just cannot imagine how you would make a sari out of this, because it has no drape whatsoever. It's really crisp. Partly, I think, just because of the structure of the fabric, but partly because it has glitter on it. And I think the glitter obviously then gives the fabric structure. On the back, it feels almost waxed. It's very smooth. So I think it might be a waxed cotton, but I've never worked with waxed cotton before. So then I'm thinking, am I just making up what a waxed cotton is? In terms of clothing, I think I would either have to make something like really structured, or if I find out it is waxed, I suppose you can make a coat or something. But I'm also thinking maybe bags. So maybe I could make, and there's a lot of fabric here, so there's part of me that's like, oh, maybe I could make a sort of bag set that all coordinates. But yeah, anyway, let me show you the prints. If you have any ideas, I know it's difficult when you can't feel the fabric, let me know. I'll try and show you some of the movement of it. But so this is the first one, which is sort of large. It's got a border print here. So this is the edge. And then it's got these larger, you know what it sort of reminds me of? You know, who is it? Fabric Godmother have done that, the sort of artisan set of fabrics. And they did one that was like little squares, like what are they called, like crochet squares. It sort of, when I see it on the screen, reminds me of that vibe. So it's got little ones towards the edge, and then bigger ones in the middle. It's in a sort of, what would you say, like an amber colour, and then like a brown, and then it's got gold glitter. I don't know if you can see the glitter. So to show you, you can probably see by the noise it's making as well, it's just very crisp. It's very like, hold its shape. Do you see what I mean? I'm holding it up. It's completely smooth on this side. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I can put it there and it will just hold its shape. Do you see what I mean? So it's very solid. The print is so nice that I don't want to waste it. So that's sort of what I've got to make my mind up with what to do with that. So that's one of those things where I think, because obviously because he doesn't know different fabric types, it's just like getting to know actually what the different things can be used for. Because he was like, oh, I thought you could make a dress out of it. But I was like, I just don't know if it would work as a dress, to be honest. It would just be so, it would so hold its shape that it would have to be a really specific type of pattern. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. So that's that one. And then he's bought me another one that I have not washed yet, which is the same, it feels the same, with a different print. So let me just unfold it. So this one hasn't been washed. This is the other print that he's purchased me. So again, you've got this nice border. You have this pattern. So it's like a, what would you say, an aqua, a very bright turquoise background. And you've got these circles. It's got this sort of geometric pattern on it. And this, I like this down the middle. Do you see these little like diamond pattern? Yeah, again, really vibrant, really colourful. Yeah, I just want to do it justice, to be honest, because I just think they're so unique, and I sort of love that they're what he has picked. So he's gone in and he's been like, these are the things I think should like, and I just want to feel like I'm, yeah, making the most out of them, you know what I mean? So if you have any ideas, or if you know like anything I could do to sort of make the most out of this fabric, do let me know, because again, there's loads of it. So as I said, I could make like matching luggage, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know, I love the prints and I love the colours. It's just working out what it would work best for, and that's what I'm not sure of. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Okay, so that's my lovely Trinidad fabric haul. And now I have some things I was purchasing. So I think I told you when Nate was away, I shopped a lot. I'm now, I think, going to just try not to buy anything for a little while. Obviously, I'll get my fabrics from the subscription box, and when I'm doing things for the blogs I work for and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm going to try not to purchase, and I shouldn't have to because there is so much here and so much in my stash that it's just ridiculous. So one of the projects that I'm planning on making is a bag. Now, I think I've mentioned that I've made a bag for the Jenny Stitches blog. It hasn't been posted yet. I think it's not going to be posted until early May, which is next week or the week after. I think it'll be posted, one of those. It was a noodle head tote bag, and I was putting off making it because I thought it was going to be a faff, and then I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the construction. I really enjoyed the way the pattern was structured, and I love the bag that I've made. And I have a big backpack that I use for when I'm teaching, and it's just sort of falling apart at the moment. I've had it a couple of years, and I carry a lot of music, a lot of scores around, so it can be really quite heavy. And I was looking at other backpacks, and I thought, maybe I should just make myself a backpack. So I was on the search, and I've ended up, so I picked another noodle head pattern, which I've purchased, this is from Jenny Stitches. So this is the Range backpack. So as you can see, it has this like fold over top. You've got a zip pocket at the front. It fastens at the top. Instead of with a zip, it's got this, what do you call it? Like a tab or a strap that folds over. It's got a contrast bottom. And then you've obviously got the straps to make it a backpack. I like the look of this one because I thought size-wise it might be a bit flexible. So that's why I wanted to try this one. So this is the pattern that I've purchased. And then I basically bought my main fabric from a different shop. And then I bought all of the other bits I need for the pattern from Jenny. So I have some black lining fabric. I have some black denim for the bottom part of the bag. I have this nice metal zip. I haven't sewn with a metal zip like this before. This is supposed to be for jeans, but I thought it would look nice, so I'm going to try and make that work. I've got, what else have I got? I think I've got some thread. I've got the metal work. So the what are they called? D rings and things like that. And then I've got some black strapping. Now, you may think, it's a lot of black for someone who doesn't often wear black. And the reason is because I found the perfect fabric on Selvage and Bolts for this bag. And I just thought the fabric needs to sing. So I wanted to keep everything else simple. So this is from Selvage and Bolts. Selvage and Bolts have really good ex-designer dead stock fabric. So sometimes it's a bit more expensive. I mean, it's like high end. So it'll be like Dolce & Gabbana or like, you know, different really high end Versace, different high end brands. And this was so niche and so perfect for me that I just couldn't not buy it. So this is a cotton canvas. It is Dolce & Gabbana dead stock. And just wait until you see this print and how perfect it is for me. It's a music print. Have a look at that. So we have all of the different instruments on. You've got saxophone, piano, you've got a trombone, you've got guitar, you've got drum kits, you've got xylophone, you've got just got everything. Amazing. And I just saw it and I thought, how could I not buy this? So the main body of the bag, so the bit in this picture that's sort of orangey red, will be in this. And then all of the other highlighted bits will be in black because it's obviously about this. It was £20. I got a metre. It was £20 for the metre, which again, you know, for something when you're making a bag and you don't need loads is actually great. So I'm really excited about that. And I do feel with that project, like there's a purpose for me making it. So I'm going to be really driven to sew that up. That'll be fairly high on the priority list. I've got a couple of commitments that I've got to sort out first, but that is a thing that I actually practically need. So this was Selvage and Bolts. All of the other bag supplies are from Jenny Stitches. She has a whole section on her website, which is bag supplies, which is in the haberdashery section. And it's really easy because I'd say the downside of bag making is you need a lot of stuff. You need a lot of haberdashery. and it can just get a bit confusing getting everything together. So I think it's really helpful because you can just go to that section and she has everything that she has there. And so far for both my bags, she's had everything I've needed for both bags. So great. The other shopping that I did, from Jenny Stitches, I also got a couple of patterns printed. So one was the Sew Over It Peggy trousers, which I'd been eyeing up for a while. And then when I did the photo shoot, Rosie was wearing a pair and then someone else was wearing a pair, and they were so cute. I was like, those have to be the trousers that I make. And the Sew Over It Frankie jacket as well, which is the one I modelled, the pink one they made. So I've had this printed too. So I'm hoping to make that at some point. In my head, I felt like summer was coming, but it's been so cold that I think maybe I do need a jacket after all. The other delivery that I mentioned to you before was that I'd done a big order from Fabric Godmother. And that was very frivolous. That was when I was feeling like, I don't know, it was a low point, and I was like, how am I going to cheer myself up? I'm going to spend loads of money on beautiful fabric. And I did. So one of these I've spoken to you about before, which is this gorgeous strawberry, I think it's called Strawberry Fair, viscose linen. I wanted to pick this up at the Stitch Festival, but it was sold out by the time I got there. And apparently it sold out on the first day. So this came back into stock. It's gorgeous. Isn't it so pretty? I think it would make a nice Mabel, actually. There are lots of things that this would be. It's obviously a summery. It's another picnic one. I need to just like rein it in, because how many picnics does a girl really go on? Do you know what I mean? How many picnic dresses do I need? I mean, I've got this one. I don't know, but I just think it was so beautiful, and I kept looking at other strawberry fabrics, and I just couldn't find any that I liked as much as this one. So I've ordered some of that. I then ordered some fabric of theirs in the sale that I kept putting in my basket and then not buying, and eventually I was like, just buy it. It was $3.99 per half meter, I think. So this is one of their prints. Here it is. It's this gorgeous tiled, I think it's viscose, and it's got, I don't know how well you can see, there's this sort of lurex thread running through it. Do you see that? So like silvery thread running through it. I just thought it was really pretty. And I kept up, they had it in, I think there's like a navy or a black, like a darker colourway, and then there's like a creamy colourway. But the yellow, there's just something about that. I just thought it was really nice. The panels are actually quite big, aren't they? So again, I've got to work out what the best thing to do with that would be. But yeah, I just bought it, no self-control. And now I have this beautiful, even more beautiful fabric in my stash. And then the last one, this is the thing that really broke the bank. So I have a couple of concerts coming up. I've never made myself a concert dress because I have some very nice concert dresses already. And it uses a lot of yardage because they have to be long. I like to be sort of quite covered at the top because I don't want to be worrying, like, you know, if I'm flashing anybody or whatever. So, yeah. So, but I saw this and I thought, you know what? Just go for it. So this is, they've called it their festival collection. This is the fabric. So it's gold. It's like a black, I think they said it's, oh, there's thread everywhere. It's picked up all the thread from the other things. It's like would you call it a lurex base? So it's that sort of like tinsely base. It's quite see-through. There you go. You can see me through it. Yeah, so it's got this like tinsely lurex stripe going through and then gold sequins. But I just thought, you know what? I think that's going to make a lush concert dress, to be fair. Look at the sparkle on that. So I'm thinking for this, I had to get, what did I get, 6 meters or something? So I had to get a lot. I'm thinking of maybe trying to do the Elodie, the Closet Core Elodie dress, which is like a wrap dress with big sleeves. Yeah, I've been thinking of making that for a while, and I just think it'd be really nice in a wrap like that. And yeah, so I hope that will work. I think I've got enough to make it work. I think it recommends having slightly more fabric, but I'm short, so I thought I could get away with, it was just supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be 6 point something, but I was like, I reckon I can get it out of 6 because I'm only short. I always have to take loads off the skirt whenever I make anything at all. So I've purchased all of that. I'm going to make, with that blue floral in the background, I'm going to make an Elodie dress. I was going to make a Penelope, but now I'm doing a Penelope for something else, which I can't say what, but for something else. So I'm going to use that for an Elodie, which what I originally purchased it for, and that will hopefully give me a bit of an idea of the fit. I got that fabric quite cheaply. It was the Fabrics Galore Cheeky Treat 1 week. I think it was £6 a metre or something. So yeah, so I have enough to make a shorter version of the Elodie with that. So yeah, I'm gonna go for it. So yeah, basically I've done nothing useful in terms of sewing this week, but I've hopefully shared with you some plans. I also thought I might show you. So Nathan, because he's a sweetheart, I'm not a designer person, right? I've never been really into designer shoes, designer handbags, not my bag. There was this pair of trainers, glittery trainers, that I fell in love with and that I had as like a distant wish for a wedding shoe that I would change into in the evening. And A, they were obscenely expensive, and B, they were sold out. So I was like, this is not going to happen. Anyway, guess who hunted them down and sent a pair, which I've received in the post. So I'm going to show you. Okay, here's a little clue where they're from. What you'll love is these shoes. Most people, when they get Jimmy Choo shoes as an adult, will probably like get something really grown up. Whereas I basically got a zhuzhed up version of shoes I had when I was a child. Ta-da! So these are the trainers of my dreams, and they glow. The glitter glows in the dark. I mean, they are the shoes of my dreams. They're a tiny bit tight. It's like they're half a size smaller than I'd normally wear. I can get my foot in, not comfortable. So we're going to be breaking these bad boys in. We've got until October. We've got 6 months. But yeah, I just needed to share those with you. Are they not just so pretty? I love them. So that's the other exciting thing that's been happening this week. If I make a party dress, it will be to wear with these shoes. So I might not change. I'll probably change into the shoes. The dress, as I said, I might not change into it. I just want the option there for something fun and like more comfy to wear. So yeah, this is what I've got to compete with. The world's best shoe. Anyway, I'm going to stop telling you how great Nathan is. He's pretty great, but like he has his moments. Do you know what I mean? I don't want everyone thinking like, why is this amazing man with you? I think I big him up too much. But yeah, no, he's all right. So yeah, that's what I've got to say. So for someone who's done no sewing, couldn't shut me up this week, could you? I was just like, yeah. So in terms of moving forward, obviously, if I have something to say, I will vlog. But also, I might not have sewed much. I'll obviously do my videos for my March and April makes. I'm going to put into one video because March I didn't make that much, and also some stuff I can't share yet because it's not been posted, so I'm going to wait and then do those both together. Yeah, if I make anything, you better believe I'm going to tell you about it, but I don't know how much I'm going to make in the next couple of weeks. There is a bank holiday this weekend. I'm probably going to just be stressing about getting this toddler class ready, but there's also a bank holiday next weekend, so I might get lucky and do some sewing then. Anyway, enough of me rambling away at you. Happy Friday, have a lovely weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to have a chat, comment below. I really love chatting to you all, and I appreciate the time you put into viewing and commenting and listening to me rambling away. Okay, see you next week. Bye!